All right. Good evening, guys. I'm going to be getting in another shave here. This one's actually going to be in the evening because I just got off a 12-hour shift. So before we get started, I got something that I need. A little bit of fuel here. Going to be rocking some of this Silver City Heroes for Ghosts White IPA. So I'm going to crack this open with the little jimps on the gut hook here. I need it after that 12-hour shift. It's time for a little reward, huh? Alright, so today's shave is actually provided by my buddy that I got into wet shaving recently, and these are some of the first products that he's bought on his own. And so he went with Holy Cow, whatever the hell you want to call it, King of Bourbon in the Water Buffalo base. So this stuff is pretty nice. King of Vanilla, more accurately described, I think. But my buddy's big into his whiskeys and bourbons and stuff like that. He likes those finer things. And in return, he's kind of getting me into that shit, so that's pretty nice. Got a nice little trade going here. But he was expecting to really kind of get bourbon out of this, you know, the alcoholic beverage, but he was a little bit let down. And I find this to be true with a lot of alcohol or liquor themed scents, is that they don't always live up, you know, to the actual drink. So I got some placed in this bowl here that from Saponificio Varesino. This was, he bought himself his own little lathering bowl. And it's flat all around the sides, but in the middle it has this nice little wood piece there with the dimples in it to help aid lathering. And then I just got some lather on the outside there, and you can see it's kind of a brownish color, which is probably from the vanilla. Vanilla usually imparts that color on soaps. So, what brush are we using? I'm going to be using my That Darn Rob with the Fanchurian. And look at it just hold on to that water. That's craziness. Yeah, I'm going to be using my That Darn Rob with the Fanchurian. Look at how much it holds on to. That's a fucking knot. And it's nice and jelly, of course. So, one thing. I think lathering in this bowl might be an issue just because the size of the knot. But we're going to give it a go. I was unsure if I should actually like press soap down into those dimples because I was kind of worried like how am I going to get it back out of those dimples. Those dimples are definitely interesting because they're actually inverted instead of out. So I'm kind of wondering if they're just kind of serving as air pockets more than actual, you know, dimples really. Or bumps, I should say. It's going. I add a little bit more water here. Try to get this soap off the edges. This is my first time using this bowl. He let me borrow his gear just kind of so I could feature it on the channel, but also so that, you know, I could test it for myself. See if any of these products I might want to buy. You know, it's always nice when you can try before you buy. And if you're lucky enough to have a buddy close by like me that you could just, I could drop by his house, he could drop by my house, and we can swap scents and stuff like that, or gear. That's like ideal, really. You kind of get 2 for the price of 1 in terms of trying gear out. And it's coming along. You know, I'm not familiar with this bowl yet. So maybe there's a better technique. But I am finding it a little bit small. You can see there's a lot of spillage happening here, which doesn't happen as frequently in my Lancaster bowl. But it's definitely got a nice lather. There's no doubt about that. Definitely got a nice lather going. So before we get too far here, I'm going to go ahead and wet the face. All right. Yeah, so Mondays are pretty much our busiest day there at the post office. Shit gets popping on Mondays. And today was a particularly busy Monday. So I don't work a whole hell of a lot of 12s. They're actually quite rare for me. Not so much for my coworkers, but me, I don't work a whole hell of a lot of 12s. I've kind of positioned myself to where if they need me, I'll do a 10-hour shift, which I do that, you know, fairly often. But I've positioned it to where I don't do a whole hell of a lot of 12-hour shifts. And that's quite alright with me. 10 is plenty. 10, 5 days a week, that'll get me by. With plenty of play money. And this scent is probably like a 5 or 6. It's definitely on the a little bit more prominent side, which is nice. I haven't used a Holy Cow soap in quite some time, to be honest. I have samples, but the soap that I bought from them a while back, before the Water Buffalo base, was what was it? Was it the tobacco? Yeah, I think it was the tobacco one. Tobacco Merchant or something like that. And I fell into the same trap that my buddy did with this bourbon scent. I thought it was going to be like cigar tobacco. That was before I knew that most tobacco fragrances they lean on the floral side. You know, tobacco leaf, tobacco flower. Not so much cigar tobacco and, you know, earthy, spicy tobacco. No, they're usually fresh, clean, floral type deal. So I made the same mistake. I didn't like it at the time. I might like it now, you know. But, yeah. So I got rid of it. I gave it to my buddy Rick, I believe, from Scent Suds and Steel. Great channel. You should check him out. Alright. So I'm going to be using my injector. I got it back from Chad over at CD Shaven Murphy. CD Shaven Murphy. You should also check him out. Both of those guys have better channels than I do. So, if you're unfamiliar with an injector, you can see this underside. And over on this side, you can see it says insert key. And that's what we'll do with this guy here. So I'll turn it to where maybe you could see. I'll press it in. That kind of raises the top cap here. Then you have this little magazine with the blades inside, and you just slide this across. So normally you're not supposed to fill it while it's empty. So this one is probably going to be a little fidgety. They usually say to actually burn one. Let me grab my spoon here. They usually say to burn one because sometimes when you're loading from scratch, it will load, it'll run across those little tabs there and dull the blade. So you got to kind of make sure that there's some space. But yeah, you just press that across, reload, pull it out, and there you go. You've loaded it. And just since this is a fresh blade and you're not really supposed to load it empty, looks like I got a good reveal. And it looks like it's behind the tabs. I just hope that it didn't run across those tabs and dull the blade. But we will find out shortly, won't we? Alright, so now that the lather's nice and dried out, let's do this past one with the fresh supply injector blade. And this was actually the first injector that I bought. And this is the one that made me really fall in love with them. I really like the cream with the kind of brown and white swirls in there. And it just, such a good looking design for a razor. I, for the life of me, don't know why these aren't more popular. These are definitely my favorite razor types. I aim to get more. I saw Razorface on Instagram. He actually got a mint condition Schick Easy Rider, and that thing just looked amazing with the bright yellow handle. I could only imagine all the summer scented soaps that he's gonna put his shave of the days with that thing. All the different citrus scents and whatnot that have bright labels. Oh man, definitely jealous of that guy. Now this first shave, it does seem like the blade is a tad harsh. Nothing too scary. But it does kind of feel almost as if it was an open comb. I'm going to make sure it's still behind those bars. But yeah, we're good. But yeah, it kind of feels almost like an open comb at this point. It's a little bit harsh, and that's not normal with these injector blades. Well, I shouldn't say the first shave. The subsequent shaves, that's not normal. They're actually usually pretty damn smooth in my experience. So hopefully this is just a first shave type deal. And hopefully it's not a situation where it dragged along those front posts, causing it to dull out before I started the shave. I can't really tell the difference. Well, maybe I can. It doesn't feel dull. It doesn't feel tuggy. It kind of has that kind of like feather sharpness, to it. Kind of feels, yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. It kind of just, you know how a feather sometimes is harsh on the first shave and smoother on the second shave? That's how it feels. It feels like that first shave. And it looks like I'm just going slow this shave. Oh well. If it runs long, it runs long. I don't try to take forever, but shit happens. I work 12 hours, so if I'm dragging ass, that's why. That's what I'm blaming it on. And I do quite enjoy the scent, although I agree, I don't think it smells like bourbon. I think a lot of these alcohol or liquor scented soaps, they cling on to characteristics of the drink they're trying to emulate. And in this case, I think they're clinging on to how the oak barrels that you age whiskey in often impart vanilla as a taste note. And so I think they cling to that when they were formulating the scent. And another reason why I think they don't try to accurately replicate liquor or, alcohol to the best of their ability, the reason why they don't try to like nail that bourbon scent is because it's not as wearable. You know what I mean? You're not gonna really go out into public smelling like you dropped a bottle of bourbon on your shirt or whatever, I think they intend to make it more wearable, so they cling on to a characteristic, a scent note, and then they build around it to make it wearable. At least that's my theory. Alright, looks like this subsequent lather is going to be a little bit mellow here, so I'm gonna extract the remainder and kind of spread that around. I don't do that often, but sometimes when a knot doesn't want to give it up, I have to put the squeeze on them. Alright. That's a little bit better. I can work with that. Alright, pass 2. Against the grain. That feels pretty good already. Yeah, it's good to have. Good to have this Razorback. Sorry I had kind of low energy in that second chance video. Or at least I thought I had low energy. I got a couple people saying I did a good job. But I honestly felt like it was one of my worst videos I've done. I just felt like I had low energy. But I did get good feedback on that video. I think that second chance challenge is a really good way to kind of bury the hatchet and just put a clean slate. And we'll go from here, And if the artisans mess up again or whatever, then, we'll go off that. Or if the products that you recently hated still suck, then we'll go off of that. But for now, clean slate. All right, let's take a look. Yep. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. It looks like I got kind of on my neckline down there. Probably a little blemish or something. Who knows? I didn't talk too much about the base. I don't think I made a spectacular lather, to be honest. But it definitely performed well. It seemed a little bit thin, my lather here. Like I said, it's my first time with that bowl. It's probably on me. But I know Holy Cow, whatever, is pretty highly regarded there. So it's probably just me. It definitely had ample slickness. I just think I kind of messed up dialing it in, and it was kind of maybe a little bit washed out. From my point of view, it was a little bit washed out. Seemed a little bit thin. Didn't have that cushion I was kind of expecting. But slickness is all you really need if you have decent technique. All right, let's dry this off. I should probably, one of these days, kind of talk about Schick Injector technique. Even though it's pretty intuitive platform, I'm not positive that I have covered that Schick Injector technique. Maybe I will cover that. And the scent is very much still here. It's basically a warm vanilla. And I believe there's also woody notes in there that keep it from becoming too dark. It's actually a real nice scent. I do enjoy it. I don't know if it's so unique and so captivating that I would buy it after this, but I definitely enjoyed using it. It smells good, and it has good scent strength, and it had good performance, good slickness anyways. I kind of blame myself for the kind of washing it out, over-hydrating it. I think I started off with a pretty damp brush, and then I did a couple water additions, and I may have put, maybe one too many. But it's all good. Still got a good shave out of it. So he has the matching King of Bourbon aftershave toner here. So let's take a quick look at what we got here as far as ingredients. You could go ahead and pause that. But some real good stuff in there. It does look like there's a form of alcohol, but other than that, it looks like basically good skin food. So we'll give this a little shake. Most of the time, if you don't want to mess up your labels, if they're not waterproof, pour from the back. Wow, what's going on here? Are you guys seeing this? Am I in frame? Okay, are you guys seeing this? You guys see those little dark spots in there? What the hell is this? It's chunky. Come on. What is going on here? Can you see those swirling in there? I think you guys can see that. I don't even got my hand under it anymore. What is going on here? Okay, tell me if this is normal with the aftershave toner, guys. You gotta kind of let the air... What? I'm at a loss for words here. Oh, I got a blast. Okay, so it's sort of viscous, and it has like these like brown strands in it. I don't know. I am at a total loss. I have never had an aftershave that just refused to come out of the restrictor. You guys are gonna have to let me know if that's normal. What is going on inside here? Hopefully you guys are seeing those like dark brown like flakes of something in there. Okay. Alright. Got a little bit more. What in the hell? I am at a total loss. If anybody has tried Holy Cow's aftershave toner, could you please explain to me what the hell is going on here? I know when I had the aftershave splash, it did not do that. So this is something else. And I don't even think it smells the same. I think it's almost like kind of toned down and washed out. I don't know, man. Do aftershaves go bad and coagulate and get thick? And I don't know. This is a first for me, guys. Holy Cow's aftershave toner. All right. I don't know. It's going on long now. We're getting into the kind of twilight zone here. So, Holy Cow's King of Bourbon in the Water Buffalo base. I used the Saponificio Varesino shave bowl. Did its job. I used my That Darn Rob with the Fanchurian badger knot on it. I used my injector with the supply blades. Showed you guys how to load them there. Love this old thing. And then I used the strangest aftershave I've ever used. Yeah, I've never tipped one over and nothing came out. That's some madness. Anyhow, we did manage to get a good shave, so cheers, guys. And I'm out.